If you're anything like me, specifically with being a Vikings fan, or if you just want your in general NFL team to make a splash signing, and they haven't these last couple of days, you're probably a little discouraged. And let me extend an olive branch here. I feel the same way in certain regards. I felt like my Vikings needed to make some plays. I felt like my Raiders needed to make some plays for players, and it just hasn't quite gone down as far as I would have liked. However, my one team, the Minnesota Vikings, they're finding the value. What do I mean by they're finding the value? Well, if we take a look at Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah's history, I think it kind of speaks for itself and what he did with the Cleveland Browns and also what he did with the 49ers in terms of signing guys, I was going to say contracts and then guys, but signing guys that fill a need, but also don't break the bank. And honestly, are there better players out there on the market? Yes, but you're getting these good players for a fraction of the cost that you would have gotten a top edge player plus, or a top end player, And last time I checked, there is a salary cap. You cannot sign guys. An entire 53-man roster can't be full of $10 million a year guy. It just doesn't work that way. So you need to have, especially between rookie draft picks, rookie contracts, you need to have guys that are on the roster, on the rookie contracts. And then when you get into free agency, you need to find the value. And I think that's exactly what the Vikings have done. You talk about the signing of Harrison Phillips, 3 years, $19.5 million. He's a cheaper version of Michael Pierce, who, don't get me wrong, I love Michael Pierce, man. He is a stud. I just, obviously he opted out the first year, and then the second year showed glimpses of being remarkable, and it just didn't work out. So I get the frustration. I get the whole idea of moving on, but at the end of the day, I like this Phillips pickup. I really do. He's cheaper, he's younger, and with the Vikings going to more of a 3-4, your job as a 3-4 defensive tackle, whether you're playing the 0, the 1 tech, or head up over the side, whatever it is, 1 eye, whatever, I don't even remember what all the things are called off the top of my head. But if you're playing a head up over the center, head up over the guard, or inside shade of the guard, any of those your entire responsibility is to take up blockers. Is literally to get double teamed. That's your job. Draw double teams. And it's kind of similar in a 4-3. Well, actually, it's more applicable in a 4-3. But you need to be a disruptive force in those gaps, those 1-3. And is it the 5 gaps? I can't remember. No, I think it's just the 1 and 3. But overall, your job is to. I played defensive end in college. Okay, give me a break. I wasn't a D tackle, but I had to know a lot of the jobs that D tackles would have to do. Their job was to be a penetrating force, get in that 1 and 3 gap, be able to blow it up, and let everything else, let everybody else make the plays around them. It's not a great job, but it's a job, especially in the NFL for a guy that's making $19.5 million over the next 3 years. And I think Phillips is going to do a very good job with it. Again, the job here is you create mismatches, you create space for those other 5 linebackers you have behind you that are just flying around and making plays. And again, with a guy like Phillips, I think he was graded as like the 15th best interior defensive lineman, I think. That was according to thevikingage.com. You guys should check out their latest article. I'll tell you what, we'll link it down in the description. But overall, he is a guy that the Vikings can just plug and just let him be disruptive. At the very least, just let him take up double teams. He's younger, he's cheaper, and he's going to kind of have the same impact. And will he not have quite the production? Okay, that's fine. I'll trade that off. I'll tell you what. I will trade that production off if Eric Kendricks or Jordan Hicks, who we'll get to in a second, make that play. If whatever it is, $2 or $3 million less a year leads to my linebacker making the play as opposed to that defensive tackle, I'm okay for it. As long as somebody gets the guy on the ground or a disruptive play is made, I don't care. I think that's tremendous value for a guy that's still young. You're going to get the best years of his career without a doubt. And honestly, again, you're just signing a very impactful player at a position of need. Also, now let's go down to Jordan Hicks. Now, I believe Jordan Hicks signed a 2-year deal worth $10 million, and I believe there's a couple $1 million worth of incentives, and I think it's $6.5 million in guarantees. Now, the thing about Jordan Hicks is he has not, in any stretch of the imagination, he's not been amazing, but he's also been, I think he led the Arizona Cardinals in tackles the last, 4 years, and he's one of those guys that, in my mind, kind of goes unnoticed. He's almost, I wouldn't say an E.J. Henderson. I would say like an Aaron Henderson and maybe Chad Greenway towards the end of his career, but he's a guy that just goes out and makes plays. He's kind of also an underrated I can't think off the top. He's an underrated pass cover. He's underrated in coverage. There we go. And I think moving forward, they have to know exactly what they got in a guy like Jordan Hicks. And I think they, to some degree, do. They have a guy that's going to fly sideline to sideline. That, you know, he's not going to get top end money anymore. He had over 100 tackles last year, 64.4 PFF grade. So again, value over going out and getting a guy like, I don't know, Ogunjobi, whoever it was from the Falcons that the Jags signed. I can never pronounce these guys' names right, but the point still remains the same. I would much rather sign a guy that for a couple of years that's going to leave an impact both on the field and in the locker room at a fraction of the cost, and rather than sign a guy that's going to be there for 5 or 6 years that you're looking for a way to dump his contract, worst case scenario, because that's a lot of times the way it ends up. I think that's just how it goes. But overall, I love these first two signings by the Vikings. Again, it's just what Kwesi did in Cleveland. It's nothing big, it's nothing fancy, but they get these value players that they're going to bring into the franchise. They're going to have an immediate impact and that are going to really shore up a couple of defensive spots. Now, do you leave it there? No. You go out and draft another defensive tackle, and you also see what kind of competition you have at linebacker. Do you sign Anthony Barr to an edge to be more of an edge rusher? Maybe. I don't know. But the point is, you go out and get the value. You go out and get those guys that will make plays for you, and that won't cost you an arm and a leg to be able to get those kind of players. But let us know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support that we've gotten, and continue to get you guys are truthfully awesome, and we love every single one of you. In the description below, you find all of our social media platforms, so give us a like and a follow there. Also, remember to give us a listen and sub on iTunes. And finally, if you have anything else you'd like us to cover, our mouth is moving really fast right now, isn't it? Sorry. Send us an email at thesportsbp@yahoo.com if you want, if you would like us to cover anything else, or put it in the comment section down below, and we would love to cover it. But let us know what you guys think about the Minnesota Vikings, who are finding the value in NFL free agency.